Joining us today is Amy Roosa, co-founder of Iowa Women in Safety, and Dave, like me, a safety PPE advocate.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Miss Amy. How are you doing? Look, you know what? I'm in love. I found another mate. Hey, Kendra, I'm sorry, but Amy's taking your place now.
Yes.
Amy, good morning.
Good morning. You look very dashing in your private.
All right. Hey, Amy, so tell us who you are and what it is you do. We'd like you to introduce yourself a little bit about what's going on with you and what you do.
Okay. Just one second. So my name's Amy Roosa. I am the co-founder of the Iowa Women in Safety Conference and Group. I've been in the safety industry for 18 years, and very recently I started becoming a PPE advocate for women in safety.
All right, Amy, and I see here, I heard your over 18 years of leadership experience in our industry and a passion to transform safety, specifically this gear that we wear. It's you can order it for women. We've done it here before, but it really doesn't have that fit, right? I mean, we have got to do a better job of creating. As heck, it doesn't even fit me sometimes. I mean, This gear, I'm telling you, the gear on the safety, the PPE side, it's kind of weird fit. I mean, and I can imagine for women, it doesn't take into a lot of the considerations. Amy, talk to us about that.
Yeah, so safety or PPE has been around forever, but it hasn't been there for women. Mm-hmm. And only in the last few years have we actually started seeing the market grow as more people are coming forward saying we need the PPE made for women. The industries are starting to grow, like the trucking industry, welding, all the different trades. So now the manufacturers are finally stopping and saying, yeah, we need to start making more PPE that works for women because now it's becoming a safety issue.
For sure. Hey, Amy, what made you kind of gear your passion towards this? Was it did something happen or what was that?
Probably getting fed up hitting every doornail or door handle with my safety vest on a regular basis. Very early on in my career, I got handed a safety vest that was a size large. That's all the employer had at the time. And that's what I had to wear, but it was bulky. It didn't fit me right. All throughout the day, I'm making adjustments to myself, and I'm catching on every little thing in my environment. And that's becoming a safety issue. That's becoming a risk for me. It's becoming a distraction for me as well. So I started really looking in the last few years as I was consulting, as I was building the Women in Safety Conference, to looking at the vendors that were making this stuff and trying to get it more out there for people to know that it's out there.
When you talk about it not fitting well, you tended to more likely not wear it or not want to wear it or not want to jump into it because, I'd rather just not deal with it because it's causing more problems than I feel like it's saving, right? I mean, you kind of that balance, and you're kind of circumventing that by filling this void.
Absolutely.
And Amy, you bring up something, and Dave, since he's not a big believer like you and I, Amy, let's face it. So we're like talking to him right now. But when you wear those jackets and I even have some of those or the vests that just don't fit, you brought it up, they catch on things, door handles, cabinets, and you're walking, you're like, you get thrown right back into it. And it creates an unsafe situation. I can imagine for a driver getting out of a truck, you take a female driver that's got an oversized vest that it can catch on something, Dave, and as she's trying to come down 3 points of contact, she's getting hooked up on something, is a better chance to also fall out of that tractor. Those are legitimate concerns, especially on the oversized PPE product.
Yeah.
And Amy, I was going to ask you not only that, but like having been worked with set gear on job sites and stuff, we're also talking about like boots that have never really been out there for like steel toe boots, right? That have never really been out there for women and other type of protective gear that we've always just worn, and hats and all these other things that were never really truly designed. Are you having genuine success with the vendors in these type of categories?
So very recently, you've had two female creators. If you see the shoes up above on my nice PPE closet that might rival Sir. Those are Gino Jones shoes. Those are made by a woman for women. You have
Wow.
Xena footwear made for women by women, and it's stylish shoes that give me confidence when I'm out on the manufacturing floor or a job site. They fit my feet better. They're not what manufacturers have done in the past, which is take a men's shoe, make it a little bit smaller, slap some pink on it, and call it good. We don't want that. We want something that fits us.
Oh wow, that's great. And it also, have you does it also like ear protection and eye protection and hat and all these things? I mean, you're talking about a total change in the way we look at it. Can it also go towards like customizing it? So like you talk about me, I have a super huge head.
Yeah, there's not many men that have a size of head like this guy.
It doesn't fit a hard hat. It's like it just fits on top like a weird bowl, and then and other things. So are you looking at more customizable type products? I mean, because that's exciting to hear.
You bring up a good point, like safety glasses, for instance. If you look at women, we have more petite heads, I guess is the best way to describe it, but we're smaller frames. So we need glasses that fit us. And historically, it hasn't been out there. I don't know how many glasses I have in my safety PPE drawer that I put them on, and there are hazards there. Things can get into my eye because it's not formed to my face as a woman. You're going to see probably that change in the industry continue as manufacturers are asking the right questions, they're listening to their customer, and they're redesigning the equipment. The other holdup that we might see is we have to wait for the standards, the ANSI standards, to get rewritten so that we can redesign PPE.
Wow.
So the reason why you don't see the smaller sizes there for a while was high vis in the ANSI standard is written to a certain spec. You couldn't put that on an extra small shirt and give it to a woman because then it didn't meet the ANSI standard. So places like the American Society of Safety Professionals, they are hoping to champion rewriting those standards.
Have you seen some companies do better than others in offering these patterns, these fits for women on the high vis side?
Yeah, so like what I'm wearing right now, this is Unity Pro. They have several different lines for women. They're continuing to progress their development on that. Radiance is another one. Behind me, I also have Bulwark, Ariat, Carhartt. Those are companies that I champion and I talk about the most because they are doing the most for women out there. And I feel like they deserve to be talked about. And we have to get their names out there so that everybody knows when they go to order PPE, those are the brands they need to be supporting because they're supporting our trades back by providing this.
When we talk about PPE, not just sizes and fit, but you know what? Are they making it more fashionable, the PPE, instead of just a bright orange, but a better look? I know Sir Rick's over here sporting
polo shirt.
The crossing guard shirt. But I'm asking, are they making them more specific designs or different stuff you can get? I mean, I'm just curious because if you enjoy wearing it, don't you want to wear it more? I'm just curious.
Right, and you're a little more confident if it's designed differently. You are seeing the manufacturers play with color, especially black now on a majority of the clothing line, and making it more stylish, which I think for men and women, that's a nice thing to have on the job site. That way you feel comfortable leaving your job site and going out to lunch wearing it because it looks good and it feels comfortable and you're confident wearing it.
Hey, tell me a little bit though, Amy. I do want to jump in this. So you're co-founder of Iowa Women in Safety. Talk to us about this, about that foundation or that group.
Yeah, so we started about 4 years ago out of a need just to get women together in a space where we could talk about some of the issues that we faced in our profession that maybe we were having roadblocks with. And my co-founder in the community college, Cookwood Community College here in Iowa, was gracious enough to give us the space to start the conversation. And we've been continuing it now for 4 years. So When we started, I had really just hoped that we would have 10 people show up, and we had around 50. This year, we have 110 members, and it keeps growing strong. And that can be anybody in the safety profession, whether you're an HR person that does a little bit of safety or you're the person on the safety committee. We encourage anybody to come to the conference, to join the Facebook group, to ask questions within that group, to share resources, and to share that connection within the community.
You know, Amy, here at BCB Live, we share your passion for safety, and we like anybody that talks about it. And it sounds like when you go to these, y'all are starting to make it. You go from 50 to 100 and something. Sounds like y'all are making it a little fun over there at the Women in Safety meeting, right? Sounds like y'all are getting in there and having some fun with it and trying to change
You're not welcome there, Dre. He's trying to get an open invitation.
I was trying to figure out how I get it.
Men are more than welcome to come. We want men to
There
come.
you go, Sir Rick.
Experience it, be a part of it. And also, you guys are our advocates too, right?
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you're
Absolutely.
out there and somebody's saying something about needing PPE, you can stop and ask the question at any time. Are we getting PPE that's inclusive to our workforce?
Wow.
That's why we need you guys to be there for us.
Well, I can tell you this. We're definitely going to talk about this on the show. I put down this, and Amy, here's some things I'm going to ask you for. If you could, you can email us back at the show. I believe you have not. We have your email, but love to know those companies that you just talked about, the Carhartt, Unity Pro Radiance, and I don't think I got them all down, so I want to love to get that information on those that are doing, more for the women on this PPE. And also, I want to include some of these insurance companies, the folks up in Iowa that we know up there as well. And I want to put them in contact with you to help support this, because safety is critical, and you're hitting it right on the right spot, is because, how you feel, and the clothing has to fit. It's got to look good as well. You're more encouraged to wear it out there on the field, because let's face it, whether it's truck driving safety, getting out of that truck safety, or the work comp that goes along with it, because, the toes and the feet, they've got to be probably the biggest areas that have the accidents on it, right? And we got to have more PPE to at least identify that. And I think when you have bright clothes on, or you have gloves on that fit and you're wearing them, talk to me, Amy, doesn't that just make you more aware as the user and as the one that's wearing that PPE product as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Do you have and I saw I was listening to it a little bit. You also, and I forget about the other things, the other PPE, like ear protection. And I forget about all those other things that actually genuinely matter in the long term. Do you talk about all those things in your meetings and how we can improve those and how we can get the word out? Because I think really this is all about education, right, Amy? This is about getting the word out to everybody about these needs.
Yeah, especially, hearing protection. You guys have a huge issue with hearing protection, right? You guys are driving, you're around loud machinery all day. That's a huge part of your industry that you have to be aware of. Women in safety, we do talk about those subjects. We do look at what's trending out for new changes within like the standard, but also what the manufacturers are doing. And I will say this, I'm a hearing conservationist. So one of my pet peeves is seeing people take hearing protection, put it in your pocket, and keep reusing it. Don't do that. Throw it away. Get new hearing protection. Get the new little foam rollers, whatever you want to call them, and get fresh packs. Don't reuse those. It's disgusting. You're going to get an ear infection.
Okay, so I'm guilty because I've used the little phones to go hunting and or to go shooting.
He does that with Q-tips too, Amy. It's not just with
Not
that.
true.
It's with Q-tips, anything like that. He does the same thing. Hey, Amy, I want to thank you for being part of BCB Live, being on the show. One thing we ask everybody on the show is at the end of it, we ask you to say your name, the foundation or the company you're with, and then to say, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot.
My name's Amy Roosa. I'm a safety professional and the co-founder of the Iowa Women in Safety Conference. And thank you for letting me be on BCB, the station in the nation.
All right. Thank you very
Great
much.
job, and thank you, Amy. We're going to be there. Look for an email, and we'll from us to you. We're going to see what we can do to pump this up, because what you're doing is critical for women and for just the trucking industry, safety industry in total. So thank you, Amy, for all that you do.
Thank you, guys.